my lovelies, Barbara here with another tarot reading for the week ahead. It's a Monday, the 24th of February 2025. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I unfortunately was propped up with various cushions, as I am now. I've got my cushions here because about a week ago I did my back in. So I can get around now, which I couldn't before, but I'm getting there slowly. So hope you had a better weekend than I did. Anyway, let's get on with the reading. Now, I'm using the Robin Wood deck, and I haven't got the box for it because it's one that I used to use many years ago for readings, and I sort of took them out of the box, and I think the box is up in the attic somewhere. Anyway, by the by, so I'll just show you the back of the cards. Do like this deck. So the lead card this week is the Five of Cups. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but did we not have that card last week? We had, we certainly had some fives last week, but once I've done the reading, I can't remember. So it's a bit bizarre that way. But here we have the Five of Cups. I'll put the other cards down, actually. So here we have the wine, or it could be blood, who knows, spilt here. Now, there's supposed to be 3 cups there. If you look very carefully, you can just about see the third. And there's 2 behind. So this week, it's that moving on really from last week to actually, okay, I've figured out, I've got to let something go, and it's a bit sad, and I really like doing that, or I thought I'd like doing that, but sometimes you have to let go of certain things because they no longer serve a purpose. Now, of course, this could mean letting go of something that you didn't want to let go of. I really feel strongly for us this week. It's a choice that we have made. We still have 2 options behind, and these options, I don't know if you can see close up, I'll do the video at the end. One is, yes, this one on the end, that's got like a red rim, and that's got a green rim, and they sort of really complement each other there. So these are very, and they're luxurious because they've got these like beautiful coloured rims. So these 2 options that you have now, that perhaps you're not really sure about them, or you've not really realised you've got them. So any losses, if you want to call them losses this week, don't worry, there's still some behind you. And look, she's covered in this black cloak. I mean, we're assuming it's a woman. Oh, it could be a man, who knows. Covered in a black cloak. Now that could mean, ooh, I'm a bit sad. But also remember, black is protection. Back to tourmaline, I think I mentioned that the other week. So you are protected. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. It's actually something that's like pushing you forward. And if you look here, you've got this beautiful lush greenery. And where is it? I did notice one. I never noticed it. I love, it's the thing with cards. I've got cards I've had for decades, and I still notice new things in them. Again, you won't be able to see it, but up here is like a city, and it's beautiful city. It's all tall buildings, churches, and things like that. It's very, very small. They're over there. Now that could mean that okay, that is a long distance away. That there is a little bit of work for you to do before you get there, if that's where you want to be. But these are behind you here in a completely, opposite direction. And what is over here is a tiny little solitary tree. Remember, trees represent strength and sturdiness. So remember, 5s are wobble cards. They can go either way. It's up to how you actually want to utilise that 5. Do you want to be, in this case, sort of thing? Or do you think, okay, yeah, there are other opportunities coming, or I've got other options. It's a bit of a pain, but hey, life moves on. And that's what it's about. Life is moving on this week. Now, what's the next card? I'll pop that one down here. We have the 7 of Wands. Hey. Now, funnily enough, again, I think it was last week or maybe the week before with the wands, and I showed you a wand I had with this sort of binding around it. It's the same sort of thing here, which is quite funny. Now, we have all these different wands down here, all of which have different crystals on them. But here's, you can only see one end. It's this end here, isn't it? That is a quartz crystal, and that's a power-up crystal. And it's a wand, for goodness sake. So it's all about power and energy and movement. But 7s are also sort of represent things like making decisions and conundrums and loads of things coming at you. like these, all these different things. This is a week to stand firm with your convictions. So have the courage of your convictions this week. You know, we don't need to be bolshy about it or anything like that, but just realize that you have the strength and the knowledge and the commitment to be able to deal with things. And I do feel that those decisions that have resulted from that very first card, you know, I've had to let go of this, but it doesn't matter because I've got these two things behind me. Other people may be saying, oh, well, you don't want to do that. If you want to do it, do it. I also feel this is a week of making decisions for something that's going to bring you such energy and like things you really, really want to do. Perhaps this is the week to book your holiday for later in the year to go, I don't know, traveling around Asia or something, you know, all sorts of things. Now, if you look behind, oh, actually, I've not noticed that. There is a blue sky coming here. There's a lot of cloud around. Remember, clouds hide things and they cause shadows, but there are no shadows where he's standing. And remember, always look what they're standing on. Lush green grass. Okay, it looks like he's on the edge of a, like a precipice, I suppose. But then you've got to think, well, it's a very small one because there's people on the other side with these other ones. So remember, look at the symbolism. So this is a fantastic energized week where you have that courage to continue on the path that you want to go on. It's great. Now, assuming you have the courage of your convictions and you're able to move on, we've got the death card. We love a good death card. And look at this one. Look at the size of that white rose. You know, normally, like on a Rider-Waite, there's a skeleton with his, you know, his flag thing, and on the flag is the white rose. And here it's behind you as large as life. It's pure. It's a rose. It means love and that purity. The actual death figure is in red. Back to that energy, but also think very carefully, what does red represent? It's your base or your root chakra. So that's your stability and the ability to actually deal with all sorts of things that you want to build upon. It's a foundation. This, what's that there? So this is, how interesting is this? Now, bearing in mind, we're back to, where are we? Back to old Mr. Wand here. You know, it's a wand, it's been carved, it's got things around it. Look at this. It is perfectly smooth. It's ready to create something around it. And that's the whole point of the death card, is letting things go. So back to that first card, that wobble card, the Five of Cups. And we have a butterfly, transformation, which is what the death card's about. And we've also got silver birches. Silver birches are all about new beginnings. So this is, oh my goodness. And again, we're getting nearer and nearer to that proper spring that's coming, even though the weather's been all up and down and a bit cold and a bit rainy and everything. If you look at the trees, and if you look at the ones in the distance, you can just see the green as the shoots are coming through. And that's what, this is such an exciting week. So it's just showing you that it is okay to let go of things. You know, okay, it might cause a few up and downs, but it doesn't matter because it's that excitement of that new beginning. Think about really what you feel like, well, not everybody, but on a New Year's Eve, think, right, it's a new year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's like that excitement, I can still do that. What's the next card? Now, I'm sure we had her last week. We've got that Queen of Cups again. Now, what is interesting, just checking this now. I'll get it as close as I can. Do you see this shell? Look at the way the artist has created this. It's almost like a set of wings. This week, you can fly. If you choose to, you can fly. What if I fall? What if you don't? Remember, things that you don't do now. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to fail at that, oh, so far I'm not even going to start it. Well, you failed anyway, haven't you? Better to try and perhaps fail, and then perhaps try again in another year's time or 6 months' time, whatever. She's got this most beautiful cloak on, green, that emerald green. Did you know, I was told years ago, that emerald green is the only colour that every skin colour, hair colour will actually go with? There are a bit of random information there, but that's what I was told. Down here we have this beautiful sort of edging to her cloak, or yeah, it is a cloak, isn't it? And she's got, over the glasses, sorry about this, we've got flying fish. There we are. What did I just say about flying? We've got flying fish. We've got cherubs like leaning forward, going, yeah, I can do this. I can get through the water of life. It's a very spiritual card, remember. It's about relationships with other people, with yourself and your spiritual higher being. And I know I mentioned that last week, but look, I find this fascinating. So here we have the cup, and it's actually got like a cloth over it. Now, if you think about crystal balls, now I teach crystal balls. One thing I do warn people about crystal balls is that they should be covered, not just because it spiritually protects them, but if you put them in the window, which you should never ever put a crystal ball in your window, because it's a huge magnifying glass. And basically the sun will come through and it is liable to set fire to things. But it is there for protection. And it's almost like she's going to whip this off. Look into that cup and see what she needs to see. Enlighten herself. And I feel this is a very spiritual week. So that letting go is going to let you feel lighter so you can fly, so that you can move on. It's such a beautiful card. What else is anything? It's just normal sea. Oh, hello. What's that down there? Oh, now there's a few rocks down here. Only a few. Literally a couple. Okay, things aren't always easy. They're not smooth sailing, are they? But nevertheless, she can see what she wants to see. She knows what she needs to know, and she feels she can go where she feels she needs to go to. So, what's the final card? The Fool. Whoop, whoop. So look at this. We've got the dog here. It's funny because when you look at this quickly, it almost looks like he or she, whatever, has got high heels on. Not they're on the tippy toes. Like, I'm enjoying life. I'm playing my flute. I'm making music as I walk. I'm not seeing where I'm going, but do you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm about to fly. Let's hopefully not off the edge of the cliff. But there's so much more. Oh, do you remember the, see if I can find it, death card? Remember, there is a butterfly just here. There is a butterfly here. This is a week of transformation. This is a week where you choose how you want to transform. So on just a generalized note, you know, perhaps this is the week that you want to change your hair color, or have your hair cut, or change the way you look. Perhaps it's the week to think about, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to move in a different direction in my job, in where I live, all these things. It's about transformation. But before you can transform anything outside of your life, you need to transform. Whoops, that's me knocking everything over. Me transforming everything within. And it's a zero. It's without the Fool, there is nothing. There is no tarot without that Fool right at the beginning of the structure. We have mountains. I can't think what name was then. Mountains in the distance, covered in snow. Doesn't need to worry about that at the moment. They're covered with snow. By the time he gets around there, he or she gets around there, that snow will probably have melted. So he'll see what challenges there are. At the moment, don't think too far ahead. You don't need to. Just go with what you want to feel inside. This is a week, as I said before, of transformation. But only you can make those decisions. And I do feel it can really make a difference to where you think up here and where you think about in here. This is a doing week, not a sitting about week. This is a fun week where you can really decide where you're going. Even if it's just stepping forth and going where it takes you. Sometimes by letting go of things, it opens. What's the old saying? As one door shuts, another door opens. That's the door opening. Have a great week. Have a very, very wonderful transformative transformative. It's the painkillers. Sorry about that. Week ahead. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.